Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I made these mini sourdough pizzas. This recipe will make you 4 mini pizzas, or if you want to make regular sized, you could just split this dough in half and make 2 medium-sized pizzas. So we are going to start with 150 grams of sourdough starter. Here you can see the leftover starter that I have. I always make sure that I just feed enough for what I need for my next recipe. That way I don't waste any starter or have any discard. So we are going to add 325 grams of water. We're going to mix these two together until we get a milky consistency, and then we're going to add 500 grams of flour and 10 grams of salt. Right here you can substitute a little bit of the bread flour with some wheat flour if you'd like. I usually do 400 grams of bread flour and 100 grams of wheat. For this video, I only did bread flour, and then I went ahead and mixed everything together until there were no more clumps of flour left over. Sometimes I go in with a bench scraper just to make sure that the bottom of the bowl doesn't have any pockets of flour stuck to it. So once everything is very well mixed together, I put some plastic wrap over the bowl and I let it sit on the counter for 1 hour, and then I do my first set of stretch and folds. For the first set, you can see that the dough looks very shaggy, and I just do regular stretch and folds, and then I go ahead and grab the dough and I just make sure that everything is being stretched, and I do some slap and folds on the bowl just to make sure that I am strengthening the dough. And then for the second set of stretch and folds, you will see that the dough looks much smoother and not as shaggy. It's not sticky at this point. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you would like to make regular sized pizzas, you definitely can. Instead of splitting the dough into 4 equal pieces, you will only split it in half. We are only doing 3 sets of stretch and folds. And once we are done with our 3 sets, we are going to let the dough rest on the counter until it is done bulk fermenting. I usually make sure that the dough is nice and jiggly and pulls away from the bowl. So now I am going to divide the dough into 4. I like to weigh it out just to make sure that the dough has equal amounts of dough. That way they bake the same and one isn't undercooked or overcooked. So it was about 250 grams per pizza, and then I go ahead and shape it into a ball and create a little bit of tension. You can actually use this dough the same day, or you can put it into a container, oil the container a little bit, put the dough in there and put it in the refrigerator so it can do a cold proof and you can use it within the next few days. Sometimes I do that, but for today's video, I used the dough the same day just to show you guys, and we really wanted pizza, so we didn't wait. But here I am just showing you guys what you would do if you were to put it into the refrigerator. I got these glass containers at Target. They came in a set of 2. If you were to do the cold proof and you are ready to bake, you would just have to take out the dough 15 to 30 minutes before you want to bake them as you preheat your oven and shape them. So for the oven, you will preheat to 450 degrees with a sheet pan. I don't use anything fancy. I use a regular sheet pan from Target. I have the big one that is the size of the oven rack, and it works perfectly fine. I can bake 2 medium-sized pizzas there. So you will preheat that pan to 450 and then shape your dough. You can just poke the center, try to make a crust. I am not the best at this, but I try my best. And you will just shape it, put the toppings that you like, and then transfer the dough into a parchment paper before putting the toppings. That way it's easier to transfer to the baking sheet. I grab the top and the bottom of the parchment paper, and then I just pick it up and put it on the pan. That way the pan isn't too hot for me to like hold and then transfer the pizza. It's a big mess. So the parchment paper is very, very helpful, and that is my trick to baking these pizzas to perfection without having a pizza stone or any of that stuff. But if you have a pizza stone, you can go ahead and use that. And I just do pepperoni, cheese, pizza, and this is for my kids, so it's the perfect size for them. It just makes it fun to eat. And I made 4 of these because I had my niece over and I wanted it to be like a fun little treat or dinner, and it was perfect. All of my kids loved it, and I hope you guys do too. So here I am shaping the pizza once again, just poking the edges of the dough to make a crust, and then I just do this knuckle motion. I'm not sure what it's called, just to stretch it out a little bit. You can stretch it and make it bigger if you like, but I wanted to make them kind of small so the kids can enjoy them. So once your pizzas are ready, you will transfer them to the baking pan or the baking sheet, and this is what it's supposed to look like. I bake them for 20 minutes, and then I do the same with the other dough about 5 minutes before the other pizza is like out of the oven and done baking. So I am just making the center of the dough flat enough that way I can have some sort of crust. This crust, honestly, you guys, is so soft from the inside and a little bit crunchy on the outside. It's so, so good. You will never buy pizza takeout again. So give it a try and let me know if you guys like this recipe. I love reading the comments and seeing your feedback, but here is what the little pizzas look like. They were so delicious and they're so cute and tiny, perfect for the kiddos. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one.